My trans sister changed her name to my current name. My sister came out as trans about 2 years ago. We are not close at all. The last time I saw her was at my college graduation 3 years ago. However, when I heard the news, I sent her a text congratulating her and wishing her well. She's always been the black sheep of the family, interested in different things than me and my family. Kind of the look who came out there cave energy. She's since left our small town in western Massachusetts and moved to Seattle. I currently live in Boston and heard she changed her name. She had a fairly gender-neutral name to begin with and didn't change it initially when she came out. However, 2 months ago I heard from someone who follows her on Instagram that she changed just her first name to my current first name, thus giving her the exact name as me, minus the middle. I immediately called her and asked why she'd do such a thing. She said she'd always liked that name and couldn't find a better one. She went on to say, "We don't really talk. I don't live on the East Coast and never visit. I don't know why this even matters." I explained that I'm kind of embarrassed and feel awkward about this and asked to help her choose a different name that literally isn't mine. I do go back to my hometown somewhat frequently and so I'll have to deal with this socially with friends and other people we both know when I do end up going back. Anyone from a small town will tell you, word spreads fast. She said she's made up her mind and she intends on sending in the paperwork to change it legally this month. I called my mom and she said she had the same exact conversation with her, but my mom lost her patience and had kind of an argument and said something transphobic in the moment and they haven't spoken since. My dad hasn't touched this at all, lol. I'm just not sure what to do here because while it would be nice to be closer to my only sibling, I can't shake that we have the same name. It's weird and annoying to be honest. How do I go about getting her to change her mind? Or do you think I can't change her mind?
Teachers, what is it like to have a crush on your student? I never thought I'd say this, but I had, and still have, a crush on a 7th grader. I'm also 37, married and with quite a few kids of my own. What makes it worse is that I'm a woman and my object of crush is a guy. I realized I got a crush half a year ago, while I myself was at a very low point in my life. It was extremely difficult for me to face this. I felt so guilty and wrong but could do nothing with my emotions. I also could not tell anyone about it because I live in a small city. I got very depressed about my feelings, not because I wanted them to be reciprocal, but because I felt something was wrong with me. How on earth would a grown woman be so smitten by such a boy? Am I weird? I mean, I knew his mom and I was pretty much the same age. Well, I was still in love. I never showed it though. We are a democratic school and have very horizontal relationship with all of our students. We chat a lot online. We hang out during the breaks. They tell us personal things. The student was also highly active, very energetic and gave out lots of hugs, which made things worse. I was not actually intimately attracted and my attraction was not all the time there, but there were a lot of moments when I just loved being around him and felt like a very lucky 12-year-old girl. At one point I got so depressed that I realized I needed help. So I went to see a therapist, and it was the best decision I did. I cried during my first session. She helped me accept the idea that having a crush or having emotions is totally fine. I am not defined by my feelings but by my actions. It took me half a year of therapy, which wasn't very cheap. Smiles, one panic attack, a lot of sports and writing poetry. Actually, even writing this here is a big therapy to me. You won't believe how many times I checked out this thread. Now, the student definitely likes me too. I didn't know about it until almost the end of school year. He didn't tell me, and would have never thought that he did like me, but his female friend hinted a few times very strongly at it. It was then that I realized that I am actually a proper responsible adult because this confession from his friend made me uneasy. I realized that my inner ethics won't ever allow me to do anything even remotely wrong. This helped me to calm down, stop my beating myself up and enjoy a loving but friendly, and with clear boundaries, relationship. I am writing this very openly here, because I think some teachers might be going through the same, but also feel extremely wrong about sharing their stories. So, here is my advice. Do not beat up yourself about your own feelings. You can't control the emotion. There is probably a reason for why they came up in the first place, and why they exist until they do. Work with a therapist. I am so happy I didn't tell about my feelings to any of my colleagues, or my principal, or even my best friends, because they would never look at me the same again. But my therapist work did wonders for me. Get busy with your life. I started active sports, began writing poetry, became very active together with my kids. Do not show your attraction in front of the students or colleagues. You are a professional first of all. Put clear boundaries and, if you see the student attempting to cross them, gently remind them about them. I made sure I introduced my husband. I rarely stay alone with a student, unless absolutely necessary. I am very chatty on our students group chat, and thank God, he is not. I do not start the chat with him, unless it is school related or he starts the chat first. Also, has to be school related. Any fun banter or chat, always in a common group. Be kind to the student, if the feeling is mutual. It's easier for me to treat him like a mother or an older mentor. I always bring up my age, and make sure he knows I treat him with lots of love and care, but in a motherly way. Ignore his/her attention. I have decided to act oblivious to the fact that I know that he likes me. I am very happy I found out about it closer to the end of school year. I hope long summer will help him get over his feelings. I am mature enough to manage my own emotions, but I would hate it if I pained him in some way. Well, it's been almost 9 months since my feelings started. I still have them. I still feel like I'm ready to melt from affection when he stares into my eyes. It's not something I can control and I've accepted it. These feelings made me connect with my younger self. They helped me improve my relationship with my kids and made me take a hard look at my relationship with my husband. They also gave me a lot of joy and laughter during a very dark time in my life. The student has been the sunshine for me this year, and his abundance of energy helped me bring out the energy that I forgot I had in myself too. I also realized that I am not an all-powerful woman, that asking for help is normal, that I have faults and I need to accept them. But most of all, that I realized my own inner core of ethics is very, very strong, and I can trust myself to behave in a mature and appropriate way.